Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today you'll notice I'm not like in my own home, I'm back at my mum's. It's almost Christmas, that's where I will be in all of my videos, I think, possibly, up until after Christmas. So we have the tree in the background, we have cats everywhere, but let's not get distracted by that. Today I'm reviewing the Beauty Bay Evolve palette. Now, I'm not going to swatch like I normally do, and I'll tell you for why. Because this palette, I was kind of too excited to start swatching, and also there's not like loads and loads of colours that are so different that swatching would be of any benefit, I feel. I feel like, especially with mattes at the moment, blending them out on the lid is the way to see how they perform. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a look for you guys. It's probably going to be kind of a short video, it always tends to be when I create an eyeshadow look. But I feel like some of those interspersed with the fact that sometimes I have like half-an-hour long videos are kind of nice. So if you want to see what I managed to create with this palette, which is on my face today, and how I did it, then please keep on watching. And if you like these kind of videos where like I review palettes, I do looks rather than swatches, then please give it a thumbs up so I know that that's what you like instead, so that I have an idea of what to kind of continue doing for the future for you guys. So please subscribe to my channel before you leave, and if you press that notification bell you'll be notified every time I upload. I'm just going to kind of pick from the palette, you know, and see what I can create. These are my kind of colours, which is why I chose this, like rather than the Origins or anything like that. This to me, if you see me kind of moving to check, I can't make my monitor work, so I have like a mirror position behind my camera so I can kind of lean, check that everything's in shot, because otherwise I have no idea what's going on. It's very off-putting for me. I'm sorry if I sound really off in this video, I am still really sick. So I have put down my MAC paint pot in soft ochre. So I am going to take my Urban Decay Naked 2 brush and then just pick a transition. So I'm probably just going to pick like base 1, which is good because you can kind of go across like transition 2, crease 3. Hadn't realised that before now. Well done, Jess. You can see I have dabbled into this palette like a little bit, but I've only dabbled into like a couple of shades just, you know, throw in the crease. So I am just going to take base 1 and set the entire lid. I always feel like setting my eyeshadow primer, I don't know about you guys, but it's just a technique that I like. I find like it evens everything out, so you've got more in one area than another. It's like setting your concealer to me. So next I think I'm going to go into transition 2 here with my Morphe R39, tap off the excess and just fluff it out really lightly in the crease. I feel like it's always beneficial just to gently build in the crease. You can get a bit more of a concentration of colour just here and then fluff it out to the edges here. I always bring the shadow up for my transition around here. You kind of get a bit of a nicer fade that way when you're blending everything together. That is an absolutely beautiful transition colour. I could just blend that in all day. So to be honest, I'm not kind of following like a line. I feel like you can do that and it looks pretty good. I think I may try that in like a get ready with me at some point, but today I'm just going to kind of pick whatever colour I fancy. So next, I think I'm pretty drawn to this. I'm thinking of doing like a bit more of like a pinky look, which I don't actually remember doing so much on my channel. So I think I'm going to use this one with the same R39 brush and just blend that a little more tightly into the crease. Still fluff it out a little bit, but keep it a bit tighter. So I do kind of still want pink to be like a dominating colour, but I don't want this to be like too tightly focused. I don't want to cover up the original transition colour completely that I placed down. Just continue with those windshield wiper motions. I feel like this is taking a little more effort to blend, but it's not blending out badly at all. I just think with these deeper colours and with these pinks and purples, which are a bit harder to formulate, you just have to spend a little bit more time blending, and that's not a problem because you get a lovely faded look then. And it means that you definitely are putting that effort in that you need to create those looks, because sometimes I know I can be a bit lazy and I will blend, but I won't quite blend enough, and then it doesn't look quite right. You can't afford to not do that with shades like this. Just to make sure the edges of like my skin are kind of blended with the transition and that pink layer we've just put down, I'm just going to take a clean brush. This, honestly, I cannot remember what this brush is anymore. It's just kind of like a fluffy blending brush. You can take any clean fluffy blending brush and just blending over the edges here. Just slightly circular motions because I don't want to pull any shadow out too far. I'm just holding my mirror like this so you guys can see. I mean, you can get away with doing that at any stage. So I think next I'm going to dip into this slightly deeper pink here, which is crease 4. Just with my Morphe M433 this time. This is a little bit thinner, if you'll see. It's a little less, like, kind of blown out than the Morphe R39, so I do like this to keep it a little bit more central. Blow that pink out just a touch less, so you still see that lighter pink around the edge. You will notice I always start in this corner, and I always blend out in the circular motions. This is where it's going to be deeper. And that way I don't have loads and loads of product left on my brush to drag through the crease. You have too much product left and that's how you get fallout, and that's how product just ends here, there and everywhere. Like, you do not need loads and loads of product, especially considering this palette is fairly pigmented. Like, I don't have any problem like dipping in and thinking, oh, I actually can't see anything. That's what I'm really enjoying. Like, you can't always tell with the swatches, especially with the mattes. This is beautiful. I am hoping that you can see all this. If I have to refilm this, I will be very sad. However, this is blending out so beautifully. Like, I'm having such fun. And that is honestly a phrase that I never imagined saying. But yeah, I'm actually like really enjoying playing with these colours, and although they're not like your traditional like Christmassy colours, I feel like everyone's doing their Christmas looks at the moment. I swear I've already filmed this once, but I'm 90% sure that it didn't catch it. So we're going to do it on the other eye, like the beauty of having two eyes. So I am going to dip into liner 3, just with my number 7 smudger brush, and pop this colour in the outer V. I definitely find that this is just so much better in terms of like placement of colour. Like, I'd never be able to get such precise placement with like a blending brush. I mean, if you have a super small blending brush that's kind of more tightly packed, you may be able to get a placement kind of like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I make a mess of this already. Like, you can see it's gone a bit too far up, but that doesn't matter. Like, you can always just try and blend it away as best you can. In the end, it's going to be a little bit up there anyway, so you just have to work harder on blending that colour. That's kind of why I like the Morphe M433 for this. You kind of keep your colour just so well placed in the crease. It does just hug the crease so well. And I try and pull the colour downwards rather than upwards if I can. Like, if I have to pull, that's how I try and do it. And like here, I'll drag it across the lash line instead, just because I do not need loads and loads of like dark colour coming up too far in the crease. Quickly off camera, I did just add a little bit more colour and blend. Now, I was going to go for like a kind of pink glitter moment, but now I'm not like 100% sold. So I think it's going to be like a goldy kind of pink moment. So I'm thinking of using like a blend of this one and then a little bit of this one. That has got like more of like the yellow to it, but I can always pack like a small amount of that pink on top. The finger is just the way to go. I mean, you can definitely always like wet a brush, and some shadows work better that way. We will test it that way. But I just love putting like a pack of colour. I'm not kind of feeling that. Like, I think it's a bit too yellow. So I think pop 4 is going to be a bit more of like the gold that I wanted. Yeah, I'm definitely getting more of that gold pop that I wanted. That is so pretty. I'd have them pop like my finger into highlight 5, and I'm just going to dab a touch of that over the top. That's definitely got more of the colour that I wanted. It hasn't shown up like super bright, but that is definitely what I was looking for. So I'm going to even myself up, do a bit of blending, and then we'll pick a colour to kind of go a bit more on the inner corner. When I blend in the crease to kind of blend this colour into this one, I don't tend to pick up any more product unless I feel it like absolutely necessary. There's always some product left on your brush, and to me just a gentle blend here just marries those colours together absolutely beautifully. it's exactly the same for this. I don't try and put more colour on the brush unless I feel the need to, unless I need to top up one of the other colours. I find just pulling one shadow into another like that works pretty well for me. So I did kind of sort this eye out, so this is kind of what it's going to look like finished before mascara. So I am just going to show you what I did. So I took a wet number 7 eye colour brush into highlight 6, this kind of white one here. And then what I did was I just took from the inner corner here and kind of dragged it up like that. And then what I do is I just take from the inner corner like this and pull up into these shadows, because I find that's the best like method in terms of blending. You don't have such a stark kind of line of the white shadow. And then again took my Morphe in 433 and then just kind of blended into the crease, because this kind of creates a bit of a stark line using a wet shadow, and that wasn't what I wanted. So I do just blend this a touch. And you can also always use this if you find that you still have some like brown or pink left over. You can dip into a little bit of that gold shadow, because what it will do is it will make sure that it's a bit more gold, the blend. It will not pick up loads of that glitter shadow, so it won't like add too much glitter to the white, but it will stop a lot of that brown pink from getting on. You can also just clean off the excess on the back of your hand, which is what I normally do. You'll see I always have like shadow all over my hands. Like I found I've lost a bit of that gold, so I am just topping up with my finger. I actually found that I prefer these glitter shadows, generally speaking, done with the finger rather than like a wet brush. I found, at least with this kind of row so far, this one, like this particular white shade worked quite well with a wet brush, less so with the finger. So I think it's just kind of trial and error with the different shades as to what works well for you. I think on bigger patches of the lid, that's kind of why I prefer like a finger. I can kind of get a bit more product that way. Then what I did was I popped a white eyeliner in my waterline, which I will do off camera. I think I'll do like my under eyeshadow first. So I took my e.l.f. Detailed crease brush and I mixed together Transition 4 and Crease 5. So I just dabbed a little bit of both of these together and I just kind of blend, 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 blend. Blend, 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 blend. Because I don't want it to be like super stark, like a difference. So I will blend and then lower where I know that there's not going to be a lot of shadow, and then blend back up and blend down. This is the finished look, and honestly I really love it. The liner I used was the Kiko Intense Colour Long Lasting Liner in white, and I used Benefit Roller Lash for mascara. So for me, I found the shimmers worked. I don't think they were the best shimmers I've ever tried, but they did the job. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of us have like singles that we would use anyway, so I don't think it's worth saying not buying this for the fact that the shimmers aren't the most amazing thing in the world. I think the mattes are really good. Like I really enjoyed how the mattes blended. I was really happy with the kind of look that I got from them, and also the mattes to me are kind of a little bit more important in some way. You can create a completely matte look. You need mattes to create a look with shimmers. Do you know what I'm saying? These are all like the base things that you absolutely need matte wise. But to me this palette is absolutely beautiful. I loved all the warm tones, and I think I kind of created a nice different look for me. Like I didn't go for my typical red smoky look, which actually this isn't super geared towards. This is kind of geared towards a bit more of like a pinky purple moment, which I absolutely love. And I kind of love how it's supposed to be like a colour by numbers almost, which I do kind of like. I like that they've paired like loads of numbers together for you, so that if you're a beginner, it kind of makes picking colour arrangements a little bit easier. Obviously I didn't follow that because I just didn't want to. I just played with whatever I fancied, which you can totally do as well. There aren't any rules to makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed the look that I created. If you're interested in this palette, it's sold exclusively at Beauty Bay. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.